right, you bunch of yahoos, strap yourselves in for another episode of Dan and Don's Toxic Masculinity.
In other words, shut up, sit up, and pay attention.
Hello, everybody. This is Don the Predator Frye. We have another Double D's in your face Q&A here. My guest is Art Del Cueto. He's you the VP or the president of the union?
I'm the national vice president.
Oh, the national vice president. Forgive me. In the sense somebody over break my legs, my kneecaps. Dan Severn's not here today, folks. I'm sorry, but Dan had a terrible accident today, and we're all praying for him. And we ask you all to say a prayer for him because Dan was in Ohio and was touring a marshmallow factory and fell in a vat and ate his way out and OD'd. And he's kind of coming, give and take, come and go. But he's pulling through. If you all give us a good prayer, and I know Dan's tough enough to pull through, and they'll get the rest of the marshmallow off of him. And all he needs to do is take a real good big dump, and he'll feel better. So with that said, welcome here to Toxic Masculinity. Let's get after it. Art, who's fucking up our border down south there, man? The thing's a fucking mess.
It is a mess, man, and it's the policies of the current administration.
Well, how long you been with the Border Patrol?
I've been there 19 years.
Oh, wow.
A long time. So I did 19 years there. I did just a little over 5 years with the state, and then obviously I did with the fire department down in Douglas, for Sunnyside Fire Department, which is called land. And then I was playing music, and I played in a rock band.
Oh, yeah? What'd you play?
It didn't work out so well. I was the singer.
Oh,
yeah, I had a band down there. Well, you know that you're from Sierra Vista down there, so we did some shows down at the Frye, at the Fab Ave Rec Center.
Yeah. And
we played back then. Man, it was a long time ago, man. There was some good bands back then.
Yeah.
Out there. It was fun.
Yeah.
But it was just, I got tired of eating ramen noodle soup for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Oh yeah, I bet. Yeah,
that's why. I mean, sometimes some of the things I see is, like I said, I've lived on the border my whole life, Don. I see it. I know what's been happening. I know how it works, and it's frustrating because I don't think enough people get it. They don't understand it, and a lot of it is because of the irresponsible media out there that, like I said, they want to focus on what words to use to call the situation instead of the actual situation.
Right.
And who cares what you call it? Let's figure out how to fix it. And the fix is there. We've said it many times. Hire the judges, send them down there, remain in Mexico. Those three things will drop the illegal flow into the United States. And when that comes down, the drugs that are coming in stop or get slowed down tremendously, and the crime in this country gets stopped. And then the ODs and the people that are dying and all that will stop. And all you got to do is those three things.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you do it?
I think it's on Biden's head that these people are dying, the kids are dying, and he's not doing his job as president. He's not securing the border, not securing the nnation. They're invading, they're coming in, and they're killing us. And I think it's the goddamn Chinese. All the ingredients for the drugs go from China to Mexico. They cook it in Mexico, and then they run it across.
That's correct. And look, this is just you and me here talking, and we realize that's the problem. Right. How is it you have like the FBI and the intel reports and everyone else not saying, hey, this is where the problem is and this is how you got to fix it?
Right.
I mean, are they scared to speak up? Are they scared to say anything? It's like the port of entry director saying it's coming through here. Well, if you know it is, why aren't you doing something about it?
Yeah. why are you bragging about it? Shit. I'd be
Yeah,
ashamed. I'd be ashamed if my job to stop it, and that's the way it was coming.
that's the problem. Like these guys aren't ashamed. No one's ashamed anymore. There's no integrity. There's like I said, it's not a problem with the politicians. It's a problem with the education of people, and people aren't educated into what the issues are. And they do need. Everyone is about a knee-jerk reaction. It's about knee-jerk reaction, and it's about covering the well after the child has already fallen in the water. And
Right.
and you can't do that. You got to cover up that well and take care of it before the accident occurs. And no
Right.
one's being held responsible for it right now.
No, they just won't label people. They want to label you a racist or misogynist or what have you, and piss on you. You come up with a valid argument, and then we can argue. But
Yeah, I did an interview on a radio show, and it was after some border patrol agents had gone to speak at the University of Arizona, and these group of girls, they started heckling them, and then they followed them all the way through the hallways, and they kept on heckling them and cussing them out. And the agents, they get to the parking lot, they get in the vehicles, and then they start cussing them out in Spanish. And I made comments about that a lot of these people, they do that, and they know they can get away with it because you have uniformed personnel. But I don't think any of those people would do it to a regular civilian.
no,
They'd probably get turned around and get punched.
right.
And I said that. And after I said that, the university held this big vigil and protest saying that I was wanting to punch college girls.
You were threatening them.
And I'm thinking, what the heck are you talking about? You guys are the ones that were wrong. You flipped it around. And after that, I got invited to speak there at the University of Arizona by the Young Republican Club. And I went over there, and there was they had about 80 protesters.
Yeah.
Because I was there. But the lady and I forget her name, she looks just like Cruella de Vil.
Yeah.
And she's one of the protesters. I don't remember her name, but she looks just like Cruella de Vil. And she said that because she believed I was violent, she was going to do a silent protest. So I walked through there, and they were standing there with signs. It almost looked like I was walking through a Mayan convention.
Yeah.
And they had these signs, and they said race traitor and sell out and all this because I'm Hispanic. And I walked through there, and I remember looking at some of the protesters, and I said, "Man, this is the quietest you two have been probably in quite some time
in your whole life."
and so I'm vocal about it because I want to be the voice of the voiceless. A lot of these agents, they don't have anyone that can speak up for them, and management sees the issues and they don't speak up. Look at the whipping incident or the lies about whipping.
Oh yeah.
But the Secretary of Homeland Security, the commissioner, the chief of the Border Patrol, they knew it was a lie.
Yeah.
And they didn't ever speak up about it. So here we come again, the Border Patrol Council, and we had to speak up about it because no one else would. Just a month ago, there was an incident here in Tucson at a coffee shop. It was two females, Hispanic. One of them was Hispanic, and they went into this coffee shop to get a cup of coffee downtown Tucson.
Yeah.
They were in uniform. They went in there, and the girl behind the cash register, she turns around and she tells them, "Hey, get the F out of here. We don't serve Border Patrol here."
Really?
So they said, "What?" And she said, "We don't serve your kind."
Wow.
So the girls, they just left. They didn't even stay. They didn't argue. They were like, "You know what? Whatever. We'll get coffee somewhere else." They left.
Yeah.
They called me. They were upset. They called me and said, "All right, this happened." And I said, "I'll take care of it. I'll look into it." They didn't call management. They called me.
Yeah.
Right. So I was cool. I called the coffee shop and I said, "Hey, there was a couple of agents that were there, female agents, and I'm hearing that you guys denied them service. I want to get your side of it." The girl that answers the phone says, "There was nobody here." So then I said, "Well, wait a minute. There's a customer that called me about it, complaining." So then she changed her story and she says, "Oh, yeah, they were here, but they left."
Yeah, they left because you wouldn't serve them, you dumb bitch.
So I said, "You wouldn't serve them?" And she says, "I don't know what you're talking about." And I said, "Look, I'm going to give you the opportunity to discuss it. and this is what I'm going to tell you. The person that called me is sending me the video of the incident. Once she knew there was video, she said, I don't want to talk to you anymore. And she hung up. So I blew it up on my social media through Instagram.
Yeah.
On my official Instagram page. I blew it up. It got a lot of traction. People were upset. People were calling the coffee shop, you know, telling them why they'd refused to serve agents. So in lieu of all that, they put out an apology. So after they put out the apology, they started getting attacked by the radical left, saying, "Why are you apologizing to the cops and the border?
Right.
Can't win with these
Can't
people."
win. Yeah, they're nuts.
So then they removed the apology. So it was a revolving door. And you know, I told them on through my show, I said, look, I'm going to give you the best advice. Don't serve border patrol agents. Stick to your guns and say, I'm not going to serve you. That way you at least don't lose the crazy radical left with the Birkenstock sandals and the patchouli oil, because they are crazy. They will burn your place down. They don't care about the law.
Yeah.
Law enforcement and the Patriots, they're not going to go down there and burn your business. They're just going to boycott it. They're just not going to go.
They're not going to go. Yeah.
But that's how horrific it is that here you have a couple of individuals that are risking their lives. They're putting their lives on the line each and every day. And they get treated this way. And I will say, the drug traffickers that are bringing drugs into our country, Don, they don't care who you vote for.
Right.
They don't care what side of the aisle you stand on. All they care about is bringing their drugs, their poison, their sex trafficking into our country.
Get your money. Yeah.
That's all they care about.
Yeah.
And here we are arguing over a cup of coffee. A cup of coffee.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's simple compared to, you know, these idiots killing the cops now. You know, that's just, how fucking stupid are you people to want to kill the cops? You know, I mean, sure, the cops are a pain in the ass, you know, and they treat some cops treat us bad. Most cops treat us good, but there's a couple bad ones out there. Yeah. But there's no sense in killing all of them. Jeez, they're good fucking people, and they're protecting they're protecting, you know, your family and my family, and, you know, knock that shit off, man.
You know, that's what's crazy is that law enforcement, it's one of the only ones, and first responders as a whole, it's one of the only ones that you see when the media sees that they do something wrong, they're quick to say a border patrol agent, a police officer, a firefighter, you know, or former border patrol, former firefighter. But you never hear them say, you know, a current UPS driver, a current Walmart clerk, you know, it's somebody that works at Starbucks, you know, it's always, if you're in law enforcement and you do something bad, they sure as hell are going to let you know it. And, you know,
jump all over you. Yeah.
What does that mean? And that's where a lot of these issues come up, man. They have, law enforcement has, unfortunately, this big target. I believe that big target was brought on more during the Obama administration.
Yeah.
You know, and you continued seeing it during the Trump administration, because you had a lot of entities out there that were always talking about, you know, law enforcement. A lot of these groups that call themselves, you know, activists or whatever the heck they want to call themselves, but they're hate groups against law enforcement. Yeah. And it's continued now during the Biden administration. I was going to say the Kamala Harris administration, but it's the Biden administration.
Fuck. What was the other question I had? God dang it. What do you think about this bullshit going on over at Berkeley? You know, where they're saying a no Jew zone. You know, have you heard about that crap?
You know, you hear all these things and you wonder,
insane.
Like, who are these people?
Yeah.
Who are these people? Where did they come from? You know, people wonder if there's life in outer space. You know, there's a reason aliens don't visit us, man.
Yeah.
And we're a mess down here. But yeah, when you start seeing that, it's the same as when when you see somebody in uniform, and I hear people say they throw the Nazi word around a lot, right?
Right.
And I'm thinking, stop throwing that word around, because I think at the same time you're diminishing the issues and how horrific
Right.
the Jewish people and what they had to endure and
Oh yeah,
suffer.
the Holocaust. Nothing can compare to the Holocaust. Nothing. You know that
Exactly. People need to stop doing that.
genocide on a fucking level that will never be equaled or shouldn't be equaled. You know, and to compare, try and compare anything to the Holocaust is fucking insane. It's insulting. You know, those people should be punched in the fucking face.
Yeah, well, you can't say that, Don, because they're going to come after you now and say you were threatening to punch people.
Okay. Okay, come on.
Bring it, huh?
Yeah.
It's always good chatting with you, man. It's always a big pleasure. You know, to be honest.
Nice.
It's great seeing you. It's great being on your show.
Thank you.
Like I said, I'm very grateful on behalf of all the agents out there that are bargaining unit members within the National Border Patrol Council. They are very grateful that you have this platform where they're able to, one, express what's going on, because there's so many people that don't listen, that don't care. But at the same time, I watch your shows all the time. But people need to see that and see that, hey, there's a lot of people out there that have been grinding at it, actually talking about it for quite some time. You're one of those guys that have been doing it for a while. You didn't just jump on the bandwagon. You're like me. You put one of the wheels on that bandwagon.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate what the fuck you guys do, man. It's amazing. We always worked with you, and as a fireman, work in conjunction with you, and it's always, you guys are amazing. The shit you do, and the bullshit you got to put up with, and the other policemen too. I mean, to have people call you and then fucking try and kill you, it's insane. And then they get turned into a hero, the bad people do. It's fucking insane what's going on in this world right now.
No, definitely. And look, Halloween's around the corner, so I do want to remind all the parents out there that have kids, and everyone that that you have these kids. You hear it every year. Check your child's candy. Check your child's candy. You know what? This year, unfortunately, it's the time we live in. Go only get candy from areas that the people that you're getting them from. Don't just go around your neighborhood and say, oh, people that you don't even know, because there's weirdos everywhere. Right. If you don't know the person in your neighborhood, you probably shouldn't go to his house anyway, even though he's in your neighborhood. Right. Go to areas your kids are going to be safe, because unfortunately, those are the times we're living in right now, and I don't see any end in sight anytime soon, especially not under this administration. No,
and they're not prosecuting the fucking people too. Look what's going on in fucking New York and LA. Shit. They let them get away with fucking assault and battery and almost murder.
Yeah, I mean, you look at those areas where you have places like that, the sanctuary cities, and they got a real wake-up call with a couple of buses, and they were freaking out. They were freaking out for like 70 people showing up.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Come on down here where we have hundreds of thousands showing up.
Yeah, we got a million fucking sneaking across.
Yeah, but then you got what's it called? Up there in DC, where the rich people live, Martha's Vineyard.
Yeah. And in Massachusetts, yeah.
Well, yeah, in Massachusetts, they had their signs, right? They had their signs that said, we welcome this, and we're sanctuary. Boy, they took those signs down.
real fast, and they use them to fucking beat those guys out of town.
It changed their mind real quick. But I think we've seen people wake up a little bit more. I just saw Ocasio-Cortez did something in her district, and people were heckling her and telling her, that they have a problem. So I think you're seeing the movement little by little. But I'll say it again, man, and I'll say it nonstop. Stop crowning people just because they showed up. We have heroes in around. You got to just, you got to start acknowledging them and stop getting excited over the latest flash in the pan with hot pants.
Right. I don't know. Those hot pants are pretty fun, man. Pretty good look at. Now you got the Biden administration trying to force Arizona to take down those trailers, right?
That's the thing. It's smoke and mirrors, Don. To be honest, those trailers that are up there, yeah, it's a big deal. And right now you have different medias that are going to come down here and start focusing on that, right?
Right.
But if you have that trailer there, and people are just going a couple miles down and climbing the fence, or still coming across,
right,
and still claiming asylum, shouldn't you focus on that? You know, if that's happening in Yuma where they're worried about the trailers, but we're down here in Tucson, Arizona, and the majority of the gotaways are here, shouldn't we be talking about the gotaways as well?
yeah.
And that's what's so frustrating. You know, I mean, I say that story on, and I chuckle about it, about the reporter being down here and saying, "Hey, Art, can you get me video and pictures of the gotaways?"
That's a new kind of stupid. You know that? It really is a new kind of stupid. You know,
if I had pictures of the gotaways, they wouldn't be gotaways. They would be
Jeez Louise. Oh, fuck, Art. Thank you very much, man.
Hey, man, thank you. It's always a pleasure, and I'm always willing to come on with you. Like I said, there's a lot of agents out there that see it. I remember watching you in Pride, and I remember watching you in the first UFCs. And it's a funny story because I was living down in Douglas. Yeah. I was working at the Sunnyside Fire Department, and we were at my house, and it was a room full of customs agents and border patrol agents in that room watching you take care of business. And little did I know that years later, not only would I meet you, but at the same time I'd be on your show. And I want to thank you for that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. My privilege, man. My privilege.
Thank you so much, man.
All right, brother. Thank you, sir. Take care. Thank you for watching another episode of Dan and Don's Toxic Masculinity. You better like, subscribe, and share, or I'm going to come to your house.